Hey, what's good guys, and welcome back to the official TGG YouTube channel. And today we have the best Sova lineups on Fracture for you. Sova is at its best when his users know their lineups, so if you main Sova or if you're just starting out, you need to know them. This guide will teach you all of the best Sova lineups for Fracture, so let's dive right in. Before we do however, please make sure you're liking the video and have subscribed, as well as leaving your favourite lineup in the comments below. Starting on A site with attack, we have a very simple recon bolt lineup for gathering intel from A gate. This is very easy to pull off, so you want to stand in this corner by the A gate and A dish entrance. Aim at the roof in front of you and place the bottom of your bounce indicator triangles at the top of the raised bar. You don't need a bounce and you only need a singular bar of charge for this lineup. It will reveal enemies all over A site, including A heaven, A hell and A link. Just be careful not to get swung by an aggressive enemy from A dish. This next lineup is a shock bolt lineup. You're to stand in this corner at the bottom of the A drop ramp and aim at the top right corner of the building in front. This is the hard part. Line up the first middle bar on the charge bar with the edge of the building, as we have. You also need one bar of charge and once again, no bounces. This lineup will land in A heaven, just by the corner of the metal walls. This is great for forcing enemy agents out of the angle, as well as in a post-plant situation if you decide to plant in A heaven. Moving over to the other side of A site, we have another recon bolt lineup for you. Start off in this corner in attacker side spawn. Line up the second middle line on your charge bar with the fourth line on the window. You want one bounce and only 2 bars of charge. This recon dart is great, as not only will you be able to safely pull this off, but it will allow you to push into A hall, focusing on enemy agents at the other end. The recon bolt will scout out enemies in A rope and by A door. This means they can't surprise you. Moving over to B site now, but still remaining on attack, this Sova lineup is one of the coolest in the guide. Stand behind the boxes in B tree, on the raised mound in the corner. Aim at the pipe behind you just at the top line. You will need one bounce and a full bar of charge for this lineup. The lineup will bounce off of the pipe, go over B canteen and land in the back of B site. It will scout out any enemy agents holding B site cubby, as well as anyone behind the green boxes on B site. It will also tell you if any enemies are holding close right in A canteen. Moving on to a shock dart post plant lineup for B site. You'll be starting on the other side of B site in B arcade, right in the corner. On the opposite wall, there's a metal shape jutting out at the top. Aim your owl drone icon on your HUD upward just below it. You will need only 1 bar of charge. The lineup is excellent for preventing enemy defusers. Just make sure your team plant in B site cubby. Some people plant behind the green boxes, so it is something you want to establish straight away. Playing post-plant situations is sometimes hard on B site because of the amount of areas defenders can come from, but this lineup certainly helps. For our last attacking lineup of the video, we will be starting by the boxes in B bench. Tuck right into the corner and aim the left side of your recon bolt charge bar up with the left wall of the screen opposite. Your crosshair should be on the top line. You're at full charge and 1 bounce. The recon bolt will bounce and land in B tower, scouting out behind the boxes in B arcade as well as obviously B tower. This will secure you a safe push into B arcade, gaining you ground and getting your team closer to B site. If you struggle on Fracture, lineups certainly help. And if you don't exclusively play Sova, we have lineups for a multitude of other agents on Fracture, including Viper, Raze, KO, Killjoy, Brimstone, Phoenix and Fade. Now we have some defensive side lineups for you, starting on A site with a recon bolt. Stand against the very edge of the box in A main. On the wall opposite you, you'll see a poster. Aim about 3/4 of the way up the right hand side and fire a full charge with 1 bounce. The recon bolt will land at the other end of A main, scouting out enemy pushes from the attacking team. We highly recommend using this at the beginning of the round, as you'll gather a lot of intel. Another tactic is to use this once you hear footsteps. This is because the dart will land behind the enemy, making it harder for them to destroy. For an aggressive recon bolt to use at the beginning of the round, this is perfect. Stand at the bottom of A drop, just as we have. Aim at the metal panel leaning against the wall opposite. You want 1 bounce and a full charge bar. The recon bolt will bounce perfectly off of the panel and go through the A dish to A gate entryway. Once again, wait a few seconds before using this, as the bolt will land behind enemy agents, meaning you can scout out how many people are pushing before it gets destroyed. To retake A site from A link and defender side spawn, you can use this recon bolt lineup. Let's say you held B perfectly, but your team lost A and you're rotating. Stand in this corner by the Omega sector sign on the wall, in the closest corner of the black and yellow trim of the hole in the roof. You want 1 bar of charge when you fire too. The recon bolt will land right at the back of A site, scouting out enemy agents playing behind the boxes in A hell, A heaven and on A site. This is one of the most simple yet effective lineups, proving that complicated lineups aren't everything. For the last section of this Sova Fracture lineup guide, we have defending B site. If you don't have anyone with an operator or a marshal to peek B main, you can use this lineup. Stand in the corner by the stairs leading to B tower. This will scout out anyone pushing B site from this side. There's a small piece of shrubbery sticking out of the tree above B canteen. Aim your recon bolt there and give it 1 bar of charge and no bounce. It will land in B tree behind pushing enemies, meaning you will scout them all out and do not have to peek to get intel. Now for the other side of B site, stand against the edge of the generator on B site, just by B link. Aim in the bottom right corner of the broken roof panel above you, just where the first metal beam and the outer beams meet. You want a singular bounce and a completely full charge bar, as the recon bolt will bounce off of the roof. It will then land on a wall in B bench, scouting out enemies left, right and centre. Make sure that you don't leave it too long however, as you might get swung by enemy attackers from B arcade. For our final lineup of the guide, we have a B site retake lineup. You once again want your recon bolt for this. Stand on the right side of the B link entryway from defender side spawn. You're most likely to be here if you're rotating from A site and your team lost B. Aim at the wall just past the exit of B canteen, and with 1 bounce and a fully charged bar, the recon bolt should land just by the entryway to B tower. This will scan the whole of B site and some of B tower. This is a really good lineup if the enemy has set up utility, such as a Viper toxic screen or Brimstone sky smokes. Wow, that went fast. Hopefully you could keep up. These lineups should have shown you how little enemy agents can hide from the Russian Initiator and Fracture. If you want to scout out enemies in every game you play, we have full lineup guides for Sova on every other map in the game. These include Haven, Icebox, Bind, Ascent and Breeze. That's all from us here at The Global Gaming. Hopefully you've learned a few lineups to smash your games, and we will catch you next time.